All right, guys, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the planet. I'm going to do the recap. I had a pretty good day, actually, today. Very nice, solid trade on Nvidia and Tesla. It was very, very, very nice. And I like this kind of days that you take one trade and it works and partial, and then that's it. The days that you stop messing around with the stocks are generally not good, and I like that. So I have no position except the JP. JP is, I have some cash left over and just put it in a JP and just collect the equities in there because, market seems that it's really going up and down. It doesn't really give you much, but JP is just producing, about 10, 12% return. I'm just getting it and collecting on that. So I really don't look at the unrealized P&L on JP here because it's just every month I'm getting, about 10% return on my money. So that's good and happy. But trading wise, let's go through the Nvidia and Tesla, each of them one trade. So Nvidia was gapping up today, and it was trading about 2%, above, just the VWAP was trading for about 20 minutes. It was trading, and on a 5-minute chart, when I looked at it, I noticed that there are 4 candlesticks that they're all doji. Every time that it tries to go down below the VWAP, it comes back up. And it was gapping, trading significantly strong, about 2-3%. And I realized that there is a potential for a 5-minute opening range breakup above the VWAP. So on a 5-minute candlestick, I had this bias of going long on that. Obviously, 5-minute candlestick is a strategic decision, so you want to see long or short or what's the pattern. And then the tactical time frame for me is actually the 1 minute. So I looked at the 1 minute and I saw that it's really sold off, and then suddenly a huge squeeze up. So the signal for me to enter was this big engulfing, like sold up but quickly squeezed back up above the VWAP, and then followed by another bullish candlestick, and I really liked that, and I decided to just go long here with the stop loss below the VWAP. So I went long at 387. It did drop a little bit to the VWAP, but my stop loss was still there. And suddenly huge squeeze came up. For the people who were looking at this trade, you could have also entered again here after this squeeze up. And as you see here, we start partialing out all the way up to 393. We also had very big asks constantly showing up, which is a very bullish signal. So we had that one very nice going up, and then eventually came down, and I got stopped out at the break even. Some people said, do you want to add here? So I said, yeah, there is a potential for an add for a 920 trade. So when it actually comes and hits the 20 moving average on 2-minute chart, so that's a 920 trade book. So that could have been a potential add place for the next pop. As you see, popped up a little bit more. But generally, I didn't like that because I kind of didn't like the time and sells on it, and I saw that it's actually really slowly selling off. That was a trade that I did. And then we had the other one that I want to talk about is Tesla. So let's go through the Tesla and see how the Tesla traded. So Tesla, when I came here at the open, it was kind of flat in the pre-market, squeezed up for a couple of minutes, really nicely went up, and then suddenly what I saw that a huge drop below the VWAP. So we saw that huge drop below the VWAP, and I thought that could be a good short opportunity. On a 5-minute chart, candlestick was very nice. It was like a very nice doji. It was like shouting that I'm a short. Look at this huge move up, and then it came down. It was really like a shout at me that, oh, I'm short. So essentially it would have been a very nice 5-minute opening range breakdown because of that big doji. So what happened here was that I came a little bit actually late on that. So I went short. The stop loss was above the VWAP, so the risk to reward wasn't really perfect here, but it did drop really nicely. I covered in a couple of positions. Most of my positions were out here because I already got 1 or 2% out of that, and then it did bounce back, and I get out of it a little bit more. I still had it because my stop loss was at the break even. I still had it, but I said, what, it's not going to go down. It came down again. I added more a little bit because I saw a huge bid at 199.70, and I took a screenshot as well. I was hoping that to go down. It came back up, and I completely got out of it. So that was a trade that it didn't worked mostly. Yeah, but again, I wish that it was going significantly lower. And that was it. After that, it squeezed up like a two triple bottom. We called it also in the chat room that potentially bounced back. And it seems that the market is extremely strong now, so it went back up. So that was my trading day. It was pretty good. So very, very nice. I know Jared had an amazing time on AI. So tell me, Jared, about your trade.
Yeah, so AI was probably the best trade. I did trade Tesla in the morning. Just kind of took it close to the 1 minute orb, but I was pretty aggressive on the entry. Stop at the lows, ran it up to R3 at about 206. Tried even to add if it was going to hold PDC. I was looking for maybe a move out today. But as it fell back down, stopped out at my break even. The add at the top wasn't significant enough. And then near 200, I was looking for it to flush 200. That also was kind of a quick scalp, nothing crazy at the lower end. But AI was a little bit more of an idea about supply demand. I figured the buyers and sellers from the earnings report were kind of located near the 30 area. If you look at the actual response off of earnings, there's actually some levels printed somewhere around 31. And where I started to add into my position was around that 31, kind of like back test. We had pushed off of 30.20, made it to VWAP, and then on the backswing, I was looking for a higher low. Once that held, I started scaling out into VWAP breakout. I ran it into approximately 32, 33 is kind of when I started unwinding a bit. And then when it busted through high a day, I took a major partial in those areas. 33.44 was my main target. That's a price that's on the daily, and it's also the high a day area. Surprisingly, it went a little bit farther, and then after it pulled back to VWAP on the 10:30 candle, I was already out of the position. So pretty good morning extension. Ironically, I could have bought VWAP too, and that made almost an equal move. So I like stocks that kind of have that multiple setup on the core trend. Today's a very bullish day for the bounce on AI at the very least.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And then I traded Nvidia a little bit. I was just talking about how I entered a little early on that one with a smaller size. It was right around when you had gotten out of that morning trade. And because VWAP wasn't holding well, and yet we were still in an uptrend, I was trying to average in a little bit lower. But by the time it started to recover, I had lost a lot of confidence in the buyers. So a larger position at a very key price area, about 386, 385. But unfortunately, my confidence was down due to the early entry. So by the time it started moving up again, I wasn't in that position. That would have been a very significant run to the 380, 395. So
Awesome. That's awesome.
and that's
Well,
it.
yeah, that was a really, really good trading day. Chewy was also really good at the open. I know Brian traded that a couple of times. Really nice, I think 5 minute opening range breakup as well. So it's not really as as strong as anymore, but traded very nicely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jared. It was an awesome trading day. Really, really, really nice. Guys, remember that we have a really, really good event in New York City. 2 days full presentations and trading. And if you really want to learn and be around a couple of really good traders, I think New York City would be the time. And looking forward to really have many of you in New York City. All the best. If you have any question, guys, leave in the comment, and we appreciate if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel. Looking forward to trade next to you guys. Ciao.